Hello, everybody, and welcome to the vlog for session 14 of Pokemon Spectrum. We are here and we are ready to talk about what just happened. So let us talk. Do we want to start from the beginning, or is there a particular point anyone is wanting to talk about
Nothing interesting
first?
happened toward the end, beginning.
That's true. The ending was kind of boring. Sure, we can go for the start. It was a joke, by the way, Harg. It was a joke.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh. So hope speed's good. Oh wow.
Yes, bees.
Actually put points into that last level up.
So the ending part was, I was trying to make it a point that these guys don't, like, if they feel threatened, they're not playing around. If they say they're gonna fire, they're going to fire.
Yeah.
So if you say something else, I will shoot. And I wanted to make the point saying they're not gonna play easy on you just because you happen to be a PC. If Team Rocket says they're gonna shoot if you say something, they're gonna shoot. So that's the only reason. It wasn't anything against Petra specifically. It just so happened she was the
Why
one
didn't they
that
like
ended
shoot
up.
her foot though? Why'd they have to aim at her?
Yeah,
Like,
kind
at
of
the
my
first
point
time?
also.
I don't know.
There are non-lethal things
they-
you do.
Their boss basically told them there's a telepath here, and that's a huge risk because they told Cassie to come alone. There's a lot of incentive for them to have just shot and not said anything or warned,
Yeah.
right?
No, it's kind of
There's-
because if
story-wise.
Noir hadn't talked to Cassie.
If Noir hadn't spoken to Cassie,
Yeah,
because you guys
Noir.
had him fooled. You guys had him totally fooled. I was gonna
I
let
could
you.
have done Sweet Kiss. I could have got them
Yeah.
confused. We could have went for walkies. But no.
I was assuming that Petra, because the reason why I wasn't just ignoring what Petra was trying to do, because I was assuming Tiffany was doing her flirting, regardless, and that would at least get them to be vulnerable enough to
No,
pretty
show
much
me a
have you be.
bedroom. Come now.
Yeah, you
That's
essentially
where I
had
was
her.
going, and with them confused, I think it might have worked.
Yeah, you were putty in their hands. However, because they got new information telepathically from somebody else, that, guys, there's something wrong. That that was enough to snap them out of whatever confusion could have happened, because it's just new information. So I wasn't trying to tell Petra that her flirts didn't work. They did. In fact, I knew that Tiffany's skills were so high I didn't even need her to roll for it. I just assumed they were just gonna be putting their hands. But the irony is, I think that what Noir did was very smart, because she was basically trying to get a message to Cassie. The only problem was it was intercepted.
Yeah.
By another very powerful telepath. Yeah. You had no way of necessarily knowing.
I mean, because the plan was, like they would hopefully come down and so they could see. And Cassie was doing that because she didn't want to risk communication in case something like this were to happen. But because they weren't allowed down, yeah, Cassie was just going to stall as long as she could, basically.
And
then who
upstairs
knows,
we
like-
knew that wouldn't happen because they wouldn't be able to keep. They would just force you to make a choice because we wouldn't be allowed down there.
So for the record, I certainly don't blame anyone. It was very much out of our control.
The other key thing about the whole thing was the reason why. So Chase failed his guile. I had him roll a guile when he first came onto Team Rocket, and that guile was specifically against Anthony. So Anthony's job was to scope out Chase or Neil, because Anthony's a telepath. So his job was to scope out Neil and make sure he was legit. So I think Chase ended up rolling an 8. So Anthony actually was suspicious of Neil. So we started doing small talk with Neil. Then I had you guys roll a focus. If you remember, I had everybody roll a focus. That was because I wanted to see how high Chase got. And Chase got a pretty high focus, which means that it was enough for Anthony to feel confident enough that Neil was not a threat. So that was what that roll was for. So Chase
You're
was
welcome
okay.
for the lozenge.
Chase was okay. Then again, Tiffany and Noir came in. You were successfully able to flirt with Claudius and Claudia, but then Anthony was able to send them a message, and that threw a monkey wrench to the whole thing at that point.
Yeah. So everyone
Oh.
succeeded until they realized, like, oh, they're communicating. Someone else is here.
Yeah. Oh, I completely didn't even think of like Cassie's mind getting read. Oh,
Yeah, like I said, that's why she wanted her to come down into the common area. But again, I understand.
I was working
Because-
to get us into that common area. Just
Yeah, I really
I
thought
was
that they-
not on her side.
Yeah, no.
You almost
Well,
did. You almost got
I
there.
know.
Just a few minutes off.
Fine.
I'm so sorry. Ugh.
It's okay.
We have a res power. Should be fine.
She's
No
not even
problem.
dead. She's just
For life,
holy
you just
now.
watched mom get shot, but you know.
Yeah.
It's bigger.
I'm just more. I'm also worried because, yeah, like even if Noel gets a turn to like try and prevent Tiffany from getting shot, I'm kind of worried because like the move she was preparing to do is bad.
Oh?
Barrier?
She was preparing to do the ally switch to get Cassidy.
no.
Oh,
Yeah, it
you were
was-
trying.
oh.
Oh, so
Yeah,
you were
'cause she
trying
was
to
kind of
save
like
her.
holding her turn until they were in position, basically.
I see. So you were trying to do an ally switch. Is that what you were trying to do to save Tiffany?
Well, she was holding it until Cassidy was in range.
Ah, okay.
So I was wondering, since she was holding that, would she be able to? I think her immediate response would be to switch with Tiffany because that's what she already had ready to go at that point in time.
She was ready to switch with Tiffany?
No, she was ready to switch with Cassidy when she got in position, so she kind of had that move ready to go at a certain point in time.
Wait, sorry, are we saying Cassidy or Cassie?
Cassie,
Okay, sorry.
sorry, thought Cassie. Yeah, she was ready to switch with Cassie, but since the
Yeah.
Tiffany thing happened, and
She's willing to switch the move to switch with
I know,
Tiffany and take.
And
the
right
gunshot.
after your scene, I was gonna try to move into position for that, but yeah, now we don't have your teleports available.
no, and that's like the only move that she like had prepared ready, like before the thing. So it would logically be the move she would do.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Mhm.
I think,
So,
like I said,
just
you
going
guys
over to
had
Rocket.
them very. You guys went through without a hitch up to that point. Everything
So are
went
you
very
saying
well.
are you saying we did well?
You guys did very well. You guys did really well. I was afraid that they were gonna find Chase and then he would just been up a creek and you guys would not be there to help bail him out. So the fact that all of you are at least in the base, including Molly, who's just at the entrance, it's pretty darn good that you're all there.
We tried to prepare
So-
for as many things as we could.
No, you did. So, yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen in the next session.
Like the issue is so
I roll a new character.
one of the many issues. Like I was planning for combat, of course, but I was planning for combat like from the beginning where we were kind of on equal ground. But now we're starting out with one of our people almost dead and like all the bad guys having guns drawn. It's like, oh, okay. So like even though it's combat and that's what I was essentially planning for, I did not at all plan for these circumstances.
Mhm.
Yeah, same.
Mm.
I'm gonna assume that Molly heard the shot no matter what
Yeah.
happens, and she's gonna head down.
Yeah, you're gonna head down.
Possibly with Bullet, if
Yeah.
he can fit through.
Oh, rub it in. That was a joke about gunshots.
He's not fat, he's just big boned.
Just
That is
romantic.
not at all what I meant. But good, yes. Stick with that innocent mindset.
As we said off camera, I personally don't think that even if the gun did successfully fire, I don't think that one shot would be enough to take Tiffany down. Not based on the strict rules of the game. So you wouldn't have enough injuries for an instant kill.
She moved her head a little bit, and the shot went off a little bit.
Sure,
She lost
but-
her nose.
She was
Oh, no.
warned, so she might be like,
She might be expecting it, so it would have gone. It's just a graze, just like a graze.
Well, that's what a defense score is
Just
for,
a
right?
flesh.
Yeah, like just bleeding out very quickly.
Perfect timing for Molly to come down.
Use a medic to
Yep.
patch yourself up real quick. Just...
Yeah, but I don't have my first
Killing
aid kit
punch
with
time.
me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
So,
I don't think Petra needs to roll a character. I don't think she
oh,
does.
come on.
If she is going to roll a character, I don't think it's going to be because of that one shot.
We'll see.
You know, I say let's wait until next session and see what happens.
True.
Oh man.
And
Okay,
think
coming-
this
coming
episode
from-
began with a will.
Coming from a guy who spent maybe 3 hours last night trying to figure out how many stories I could jump off of with Chase and survive, Tiffany will not die from this gunshot.
Good to know.
Just saying.
We might have had another slight rule binge.
Way too late.
For the record, Petra, you were asleep at the time. Otherwise,
Oh,
I think
I'm not
that
proud of what I've done.
I think the cliffhanger for the end is not necessarily so much. Oh, did we just lose Tiffany? I don't think it's that. I think
cover
it's
blown.
more of.
Are we sure?
I think it's more of. Oh,
Cover
their
blown.
cover's blown, or at least for.
well, yeah. I mean, if you watch like any cop drama, that's how it'll end, like as the cliffhanger, and then it resumes the episode, and it's like, "Ha! I dodged that bullet, and I'm completely fine." And it's like,
Oh,
I
yeah,
hid from
but
the
she's not
explosion
that
in the
Dexy,
bathtub.
Or just bleeding from like profusely from the throat and they're going.
Or that, yeah. Or it could be more gruesome. However you want to spin it.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my goodness.
Oh, thank Arceus we have Ho-Ho's power. Not
Yeah, you know,
Pretty much.
this could have gone a lot worse.
Yeah.
Could have gone
And-
much
A lot
worse.
worse.
And technically, even next session, the Molly will still have the +2 morality, still the same day. So
That's true.
Mhm.
That's true.
that's something, right?
I will have +1 if it helps. Probably not, but
I got to use my +1 on that focus roll, which apparently didn't even apply to us. And now my morale bonus is gone. It only lasted that one day.
Whoa.
Yeah, but all the planning beforehand I thought was awesome.
oh yeah.
We are
And
so
again, we've been planning for about a month now.
I spent so many hours.
And I think the planning helped. I mean, I think it helped really well.
It went well until
Yeah, the scenes might not have gone how I
Variables.
thought, and the rocket base certainly didn't go how I expected, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I
If
did
you-
like that we were at least able to use planning.
if
So-
you can all if everyone watching can zoom in on the chat during that whole Cassie's mom thing, like we're all just so confused.
So what do you guys
Oh.
think happened to Mikassi's mom?
well, we know
Mind warp.
brainwashed.
Brainwashed
Yeah.
by Anthony, which is
Brainwashing.
we're gonna have words with the spin-off people when they
Oh yeah.
cross over. Yeah. We're happy with Anthony.
Somebody punches.
Yeah. Especially Tiffany and Noir, because whoa.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah, I am really concerned at this point about. I mean, another thing is like, with how I was planning for combat. By the time combat started, I was hoping to have Cassie's mom like out of the way and safe.
gonna
But
be a
now
problem
she's
now.
not, and she won't work with us.
Mhm.
I mean, like, I think that she is safe for now, unless even in her brainwashed state, they decide to use her as a,
Bargaining chip.
an ultimatum, But I don't think she's gonna go willingly. Like, even if we find a way out, if there's an opening, I don't think she would follow. So
All right, we're
that's the
not
problem.
we're knocking her out. We're taking her.
Pretty
Like, we
much.
have to, but even knocking
Sleep
someone
pill.
out, they
Let's
don't
go.
sleep that long.
Yeah, it's not easy to just knock someone out unless you have an item that will do it. Like
Yeah.
a sleep button, something that puts them to sleep.
And I
Which I
have
know
plenty
exists.
of those. But
You have Cassie has them on her right now.
yes.
Okay then.
Anyway.
That settles that.
But the issue is, like, one, it would take some time to get them. And two, yeah, it would
No,
put
I
her
meant
to
like
sleep.
right now in this scene, does she have something that can knock her mom out?
Yes.
Okay.
She does.
But
Sleep
if
pill,
you
Bob.
noticed,
Shove into
it
mouth.
wasn't detected, and therefore it was well hidden, and unfortunately a little harder to get to than usual. So,
Okay.
so it'll take a little longer, but she does have stuff to do it.
Fishing it out
But
of
my
bra.
issue is that, like, even if we put her to sleep, that probably will only last a few turns. Like, so in the game time, like a minute, you know.
That's why you need Noir nearby. Do what she has to do.
But she doesn't have
Yeah,
psychic
Noir.
powers anymore.
She is
Yeah.
being Jade now.
How do you count
Now
that?
she's useless.
Yeah. I'm glad I
true.
found synthetic
I'm
You
just
still do
kidding.
now.
physical stuff.
I'm just kidding. I love you. But yeah, a lot of things have changed.
Yeah, Molly will be downstairs. Hopefully she can get over her terror of blood long enough to order Bullet to do stuff.
Well, Bullet's smart. He can probably figure out this isn't right.
And then, okay, go.
Yeah. Because, like,
Right.
even if, I don't know if we're going to get everyone out alive from this, like, mess. Like, I feel like Panic Button Police would be really nice right now.
Yeah,
Wait,
good.
wait, Neffy's probably with Madison. She'll probably go, ooh, gunshots. Do something.
Trying to get Kyle on speed dial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe
So,
so.
your girlfriend might have just died.
Oops.
Well, you see, she was in Team Rocket Bay. Sorry she didn't tell you.
Cassie
What
told
about-
me not to.
What did Chase
She
think about the
wanted to.
gunshot?
I don't know if you heard it. I mean, he's
Well, it's on
busy
the
trying
same-
not to scream as he cuts and
Oh.
burns himself, right? So the last thing he needs to do is panic right now.
Well, it's on the
But I don't
same
know.
floor as the
Is it?
cafeteria.
Oh, I thought
Yeah,
it was
it's
a floor
actually
down.
not that far away.
No, there's
I
just a
thought that
wall
was-
separating. Like, in order to reach the
Okay.
cafeteria, you have to go into the common area and then around and then up the stairs again.
I
So
see.
they're
I
on the
went.
same floor, and so like there might be
Downstairs,
ventilation connections
common
or at least the
area.
wall.
Okay, so Chase actually went upstairs and he's on the same floor as the other two.
Yeah, there's just a wall separating them.
Mhm.
Yeah, so he
Become
heard
Kool-Aid
this.
Man. Break through.
Oh yeah.
Gee.
Oh dear.
Well, then the question becomes: does he blow his cover? Like he's got one objective at this point, and it's the mother.
Yeah, so does he try to like maintain that and help the team, you know, from the inside basically?
Mhm. I don't think he'd blow his cover until the mother's out. That's what he promised.
Oh, good. This was all just your cover.
No, and
And not our jokes of, dear Lord, he switched sides.
going to the
I
dream
didn't
world,
say. I
though-
didn't confirm or deny that statement just yet.
Yeah, because Lux will not be happy about that. He will have all the words for you.
Well, if
Maybe a wood hammer.
But like, how many characters from the dream world segment are like doubting Chase? Is it just
Doubting him?
Cassie? Okay, no. All right.
Like you mean sincerely doubting him? Like thinking
Well, I
he's
mean-
actually switching sides?
Cautiously
I wouldn't say-
doubting.
I wouldn't say Cassie thinks he's switching sides, but I would say that she's not confident that he's not switching sides.
Molly is not fully confident that he's switching sides, but she, like I said a couple sessions ago, she still has some trust in Chase, and like I mentioned this session, Chase has been kind of an invisible older brother, mainly
Yeah.
because she still remembers what he said to her in the sandbox. She doesn't believe that he would switch sides that quickly. So she is concerned about what's going on, but she doesn't fully believe that he's switching. So I would say, yeah, Molly still believes in Ian right now.
Cassie remembers too, though, like him explicitly stating that he wasn't sure we were the good guys
Mhm.
in this whole situation. And so then to start saying that like Team Rocket is not bad, it's like, oh no, we're crossing into some weird territory. And at the worst
Yeah.
of times.
Although gunshots might change his perspective.
Like, yeah, like this case.
Which, by the way, that moment in the dream world where something occurs to Molly, Chase is a big part of something the thought that occurred to her. So if he really is switching sides, this could be this could be this could throw a big wrench into something.
Mm-hmm.
But we can get into that later.
I will
Yes.
just say I have ideas. I'm not going to explain what those ideas are, but I definitely.
Ideas of getting out or ideas of what Molly has? What
Everything
idea
you
Molly
guys have
has?
said, maybe part of it's true. Maybe I think what Molly said applies very strongly to some of the foundation of what would be going on through Iam's head.
Mhm.
I think he's the kind of character that his plan, there's a surface plan, and then there's the plan that exists under the surface, and it's for him to switch modes of like what plan is he actually on. That will always be something with the character. He'll always have a wild card plan. That's one of those, well, this is all going south, and so do I go south with it so that I can leverage something later on? Might be, it's like there might be another plan, even if it looks like he's, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
He's kind of breaking down or going sideways. But the thing is, like, that's why in the scene, like, he's legitimately thinking these things. Like, he's that's the other thing I try to do with him. If Hark asked me, does he feel these things? Yes, he does. He legitimately feels what he's saying, and he has to do that because he always surfaces things so that if he ever is being read or if someone's trying to like say, is he lying? Like, that's the one thing I want with this character, is that if he's in a circumstance like this, if he has to lie, he's probably swinging. He's probably punching something. He's probably getting beat up. Like, he's not, because he needs it to be something physical at that point, because it's not something he thinks he can deal with on an emotional level or a logical level. So he sort of flails. And at this point, it's like he came in here thinking, I'm going to have to kill people. And that's something that he didn't think he'd want to do. But he's like, this is an organization that could hurt, the mother of my friend. So to what degree am I willing to take? Like, how far am I willing to go when I'm in here and I have to start acting like a rabid dog? Like, and he came to terms with that when Cassie said, you're going in. So to come in here and then say, we'll get you your swag and an awesome bed and we'll feed you all this wonderful food. It's like, for him, he's like, what the hell is going on here? Like, maybe Cassie was wrong this whole time. Like, she just needs to like get in with these people again because they could help us legitimately. So compromise and let's do this. So those are real feelings.
So he at least understands,
100%.
where she was coming from when she was like, at
Oh,
first
yeah.
it was great. Like,
Oh yeah, no, he hasn't been screwed yet. So for him,
Yep.
it's like compromise and let's use these people. We could use them in Johto. Those are his thoughts. And like Anthony, for him, is like, well, shit, I can totally feel what this guy has gone through. Like, he got taken away and he got screwed over, and so this is who he turned to, and he's calling them family. That's a huge win. I mean, I don't know if he's behind anything more, anything darker. I was trying to get a seed in there with Cassie, right? Which is like just looking to see if everyone's got in the right state of mind, right? Like Chase has no idea what he's acting on at this point. He's like, is someone being mind screwed right now? Because I need to know what I'm dealing with. Because on the physical, on the surface, we shouldn't be fighting these people. But if you're telling me that everyone's a drone in here, like no one is themselves in here, everyone's been manipulated, that changes the stakes completely for him.
well, did you get that Cassie was trying to tell Chase to prepare to leave?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I got to get this crap out of my stomach, because
Just making sure.
I might be dealing with telepaths is what he was thinking. I need to get things out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You need to use that on Anthony.
I was hoping to come back in time, but alas, that did not
Alas,
come
yeah.
back in time. He was gonna start jabbing everybody in that circle because he's like, something might be going on here. So he was gonna try to jab everyone with a dart.
Yep.
But it's cool. It's cool. Next session,
boy.
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Maybe fight our way out.
I'm going to be unconscious, so have fun with that.
We'll see if Tiffany's unconscious.
I'm sure Tiffany Emerald can go have a talk in the afterlife.
It just depends on how direct the hit was.
That could happen.
Or if,
Maybe
Noir
the gun's
might
gonna
be able to
misfire.
stop it anyway.
Misfire.
Maybe it'll misfire.
The gods will be on our side.
Something occurs to Molly.
Well, I mean, okay, so Ark, were you going to leave it till next time to answer whether or not Noir was able to do the ally switch because she already had it prepared? I don't know how you're doing that if the PBJ kind of blocks off the source or blocks off any sort of psychic energy.
I'm giving the PB&J time to actually take effect, so she'll probably still have the ability to do specific things, especially based on rolls, because it almost happened instantaneously.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if Noir wants to do that.
It's
But
the move that she had prepared, so it's going to be like first impulse.
And is she switching
split
with?
second?
And she's doing it with Tiffany. She's swapping with Tiffany.
It has to be a willing
like a-
person.
Okay.
I from a character perspective,
So
I would
does
like
one of
to
the blue hair twins really like her? They would be willing.
I would like to think that Noir would not switch with Tiffany. From the perspective of the last conversation she had with Chase, there are sometimes you got to make decisions that you got to remember what the plan is, right? And sometimes you have to hurt friends. You have to let friends get hurt in order to achieve the bigger goal. So that was the point he was trying to make. Because you ending yourself in this scenario, we're all compromised, right? That's where we really have to trust each other to just stick to the plan. Because if you become a variable yourself, where you put yourself in danger because of something like this, where you do want to help someone, but you have to consider your plan is to get the mother out of here, and then
But
you have to weigh those options, like that timer, the telltale timer.
Yeah, but she only has like one move, and that's the move that she already was.
Yeah, I was
has in
gonna
her
say,
where
head.
is she going to use it?
And like it's either don't use it, it doesn't have any psychic powers anymore, or use it to save Tiffany. Like those are the two options that she has in her head.
They're not close enough to Cassie's mom to do the switch with her yet.
So
Yeah.
It's only a 6-meter thing, and I'm pretty sure if you're counting both like the X and Y kind of
Yeah,
dimensions of it,
and
I
it's
guess
interrupt
think
as
it's-
well.
I think it's too far away. So
mhm. Rough call.
yeah, but no, I do think that it is really just either switch with Tiffany or don't switch, and then yeah, the jammers will take effect. So
Ugh.
yeah, if you
I'm
it would
gonna
be
counter
so
that.
good if you could switch with the person holding the gun, because then they just shoot up at
Yeah.
the ceiling instead. But
Yeah.
I don't think they'd be classified as willing.
Again,
just
how
with
much
that.
do one of the blue haired twins like her?
You got to do baby doll eyes. You got to do that next to you. It'll infatuate them.
That trigger.
Yeah.
Oh, Noir, you got an interrupt too using your telepathy, right? That is a swift action, if I remember correctly. Or so you could theoretically try to cut off that gunshot
Yeah, like
I mean,
without using the switch. That's what I'm saying.
You do have ally switch prepared, but Hark is just saying in general it hasn't quite taken effect, so you probably have time for any one psychic move.
yeah, she can probably do ally switch, and she can also do push as the push maneuver with telekinetics as a swift action, in like the same
Also
turn.
just
so
like teleport and then immediately like push them.
push. Yeah, like push the people away. So she's got a better chance than Tiffany of surviving the gunshot. Really.
I see. I see.
And you know, like you of course can do what you want, and I don't think we really role played this out because yeah, I think the last bit of planning was a little bit rushed, which the time it makes sense. But Cassie would have said that like if things go bad, just get out. Like she would have said that because she never wanted you guys to get involved because
In
she was
there in the
afraid
first
of you know
place.
you guys getting hurt. So if it came to that, again, you don't have to listen, but just so that's in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I was wondering why we're still here.
Yes.
I didn't say this, so I don't know. But before they went to the base, would it have been possible for Nor to activate her medical nanobots?
I think that makes sense. I think that makes sense.
Okay. So they kind of kick in when the adrenaline kicks in, from what I understand. But they only like last until the combat encounter ends.
Okay.
Interesting.
I mean, this combat might go on quite a while now that the whole base seems to be active.
So yeah.
I mean, this is a multi-floor like fight now.
Cassie could always make a deal.
Where
She
are
was real quick.
Brainwashed herself. But not that like anyone knows that was the offer.
True.
no one knows that yet?
Why is Cassie so rah-rah Team Rocket these days? It seems weird.
That's new.
I thought she
Totally
hated
brainwashed.
Didn't they take her
Assuming
off?
Cresselia doesn't kick her out.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, which of the 3 options would Cassie have gone for?
So she would have totally fought. The only reason she didn't pick a fight right then was because she was stalling to let Noir and Tiffany down so they could go through with the teleporting her mom out plan. And then once the teleporting happened, she was going to start fighting as she ran, escaping too, but fighting. The issue now is that other people who didn't have to be involved, they're at risk, and so that could complicate things for her.
Other people?
Because believe it or not, she actually cares about you four.
Aww.
Oh,
Sassy Cassie.
So yeah, now that if she's aware that you guys are in danger, it could change her mind. We'll see.
Yeah, again, the reason why I kept the 2 upstairs is not because it wasn't because they were originally suspicious of you. They actually were
No,
not.
it made sense. It made sense for them to stay up with your
They didn't want
explanation.
them-
Yeah.
They didn't want them to have to deal with all of the messiness if it did go messy downstairs. And then it just so happened that, the-
No, my
messy
basic hope-
upstairs.
My hope at that point, I had 2 ideas for it because Cassie had no way of getting in contact with Noir and Tiffany, and so the hope was that Madison would see that their plan wasn't happening because Noir and Tiffany were still upstairs, and I was hoping that she would either find a way to contact them, but I don't think either of them had an earpiece, and so it would probably involve like Molly having to go down or something. But if we had any sort of indication of it's like, all right, they're in position, go. But yeah. Because until Noir communicated with Cassie, yeah, they had no idea of each other's positions really, or what was the holdup.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, like before, if the hour had gone up and they still hadn't shown up, Cassie would have just had to try to get into the proper position and hope that Noir was able to tell and teleport her.
And hope Noir was in a position where she could do that.
No, exactly. Yeah, it just would have been like, she's not here, so let's hope that it all lined up. I mean, she knows the basic layout, and she has it's basically if they're in the registrar area, she knows where she has to stand for that to work. And if they were in the security area, she would know where she'd have to stand for that to work. She would figure if they were still upstairs, Noir and Tiffany were probably in the registrar's area. So I knew where Cassie was going to take her mom, but it didn't. We ran out of time, so.
Yeah, and also it didn't seem like they would let you move Cynthia around. They was like, "Oh, I'm happy here in this
Well, the
room."
perfect spot was the girls' bathroom. So,
Ah,
so that's where she would have requested she and her mom go for a little tinkle.
because that's not suspicious in any movie ever.
Nope, not at all. Well, I mean, it even would have been a thing where she's like, okay, if you guys want to come with, that's fine. Because it didn't matter if anyone was watching her. In fact, that might have been better in a way. Because she again was ready to fight. It was just a matter of getting her mom out first and then wreck their day was the
Yeah,
hope.
but then fight to last how long? That would have been super problematic as well. Like you're surrounded by 5 right now, so you just start kicking and screaming while 5 people curb stomp.
I never said it was going to be easy.
You also didn't say you weren't getting out of here. You wouldn't have gotten out of here. That's for sure.
The hope was to get out, but it wasn't.
Cassie would not have gotten out of here if you had to fight. Let's be frank. Let's be mechanically speaking.
You know what? We'll see, Shay. We'll see next time where fighting is inevitable.
You're not a ninja. You're not a Molly. You're not gonna. You can't think them. You can't outthink them to death. So.
Oh, I can't outthink him to
She's
death.
gonna-
I will keep that in mind.
Oh gee.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Everything was going too well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
God damn it.
So, the other thing I will say about next session is that you will be joined by 2 of the guest spin-off characters.
Look at that.
Oh, do
Ah,
you know who?
Is it Charlie?
I can't tell you yet, but
Yes, you can. That's a lie. You
I
just choose
could
not
tell
to.
you, but I'm not going to.
Aww.
So, unbeknownst to you, those two characters were actually in the base the entire time.
Oh dear.
Ew.
And we
Why
will see
didn't we
what
see
happens.
them on camera?
You did
Well, we
see
didn't
them, you just
recognize
would
them.
not have recognized them.
Oh,
You
yeah.
would have. They would have just been other goons
Mhm.
to you.
Mm.
So
Fair enough.
they will be joining us in the next session,
Interesting.
All
and
right.
that will make things very interesting, I'm sure.
Hmm.
Allied help.